Greetings, people. Today I want to talk about my hair. I'm on my lock journey. I started it in the end of April this year, 2024, and we're now at the beginning of September. So however many months that is, April, May, June, July, August. 4 months, 4 and a bit months, maybe 4.5 months in. And I wanted to do it because I found it really difficult to find like guidance for locking hair of my texture. My hair ranges from like 2A texture, a mess right now, like these little wispy bits, to like 3C. We'll find some of the little coils or the ringlets that hide under here. Really see, to be honest, but yeah, I mean, you can see the variety. There's a lot of guidance for people with type 4 texture, and a little bit here on there for type 3 texture. My hair is also incredibly soft. Like before I decided to lock my hair, I would make I still make my own products, but I made a really banging hair butter, which eventually I will brand and sell. But it made my hair really, really healthy, really shiny, but also very, very soft. So it's even more resistant to locking than it would have probably been before I started using that. So yeah, I just wanted to share my journey so far and the products, well, the things that I use. I don't have any content really from before I started locking it. Maybe I will find some pictures and like put them somewhere in this video, but I probably won't because I'm not techie like that and I don't have the time. Well, I could probably make the time, but I'm not inclined to make the time to edit like that. So I started my journey. I've been thinking about it for a while. I always thought I would start my lock journey when I had my first child, but that came around sooner than I thought it would do, and I wasn't ready. But life happened, and I started to notice just like a pattern in things that were going on in my life and the people that I was attracting and the experiences that I was having. And I realized that one of the roots of, my challenges in life generally is down to patience and a lack thereof in many senses of the word. So yeah, I just went through some stuff that made me realize, okay, it's time. I was also at a loss of what to do with my hair. Like I was bouncing between like wanting to shave it all off and be bald. Like I love being bald, and grow it. But yeah, all of those things combined. And also where I was up to with my daughter's hair, she hates me doing her hair. Like she will not let me touch it. Like, and I would just do like the bare minimum, like just trying to moisturize it and, finger comb it or pick it every few days. But, she just didn't want me to do it. And I didn't want to, I was looking forward to learning how to do her hair and how to take care of her hair. Her hair is, like really coarse, type 4. I'd say probably more 4B hair, mostly. So yeah, we got to that point and I was like, okay, well, I always thought I would wait until she's older before I locked her hair so I could, ask her if she wants me to do that, and she can maybe understand, maybe not like the depths of the roots of, what it means to have locks, but certainly understand the commitment that it takes and some of what it represents. So she's just over 2.5 now. So I never thought I would lock her hair so young. But we reached this point where I just couldn't do anything with her hair. So I was like, okay, well, and that was kind of like the spur of it, really. I was like, okay, we'll go on the journey together. So, and I just turned 30 and I'd been feeling all this like transformative energy for like 6 months before I turned 30. I was like, okay, yeah, it's time. It's also going to teach me patience, albeit just a constant reminder to practice patience. So that's what brought me to the point. Anyway, I did some twists to start off her locks, but then she stayed at her grandma's for a night, and her grandma had other plans and did her hair, and she enjoyed her grandma doing her hair, and allowed her to do it. So I was like, okay, as long as she's okay with you doing her hair, I'm okay with it. You know, the main thing was the resistance, you know, when it came to me doing her hair, and the anxiety that I felt, which she probably picked up on, which probably contributed to the resistance. So yeah, I'm on the journey on my own now, and it's definitely teaching me patience. You know, even when I watch videos on YouTube of other people who have similar texture, like maybe type 3C hair, and they're like 1 month in and the locks are, you know, formed really well, I'm like, oh, it's taking so long. But I also mentally prepared myself for my hair to be a mess for a good couple of years. But I keep it wrapped up most of the time anyway. I've just sprayed it this morning. So yeah, I will talk a little bit about what I used to spray it. I think for the first, like, there were so many different kind of approaches to it. You know, some people would say that they just did nothing, like all they did was, there's some people who didn't even wash it, who like literally just left it until it locked. Some people who just washed it with shampoo or black soap. You know, there's people who obviously do like the crochet, and, you know, getting it retwisted or starting it off in twists. I wanted to do it fully freeform. A, because it's the least maintenance, and B, because I feel it resonates more with the reasons why I'm doing it. You know, because it's the most natural way, and locks are the hair taking its natural form. So I thought, you know, it makes sense to me just to let it do it how it wants to. And I'm also very interested to see, you know, how it grows. And aesthetically, I wanted like irregular locks. I don't do uniformity in any senses of the word, really. So yeah, these are fully freeform. They're still young locks, but when they mature a bit more, because I have quite a lot of, you know, like wispy bits that aren't really locking anywhere. I don't know if I can find any. But yeah, when they get a bit more mature, I'm going to do some palm rolling just so there's less fuzz. But for now, all I've been doing, so for the first, like, I'd say like 3 or 4 weeks, I think I washed it maybe twice just with shampoo. Well, the first time I washed it with conditioner, and I was like, okay, let me not do that, because I feel like I've just undone the past 2 weeks because it just went so soft. So didn't use conditioner. I just did it out of habit. I just wasn't even thinking. Just wasn't combing it, wasn't trying to do anything to it, just washing it, leaving it down as much as possible. I.e. not tying or wrapping it up. And I wasn't even spraying it. I wasn't spraying it with any water. And I realized that was a boo-boo. I was surprised, because I thought in not putting any products on it, like my scalp's going to get really dry and itchy, and my hair's going to be like really fuzzy and like dull. It actually felt like it was in really great condition. My scalp wasn't dry or itchy, even when I wasn't spraying it. And my hair was still, you know, like looking strong and shiny, and healthy. So I was surprised at that. It just kind of goes to show, you know, what we're led to believe that we need to be putting in our hair, like all these products that we have available, like, you know, we don't actually need them. And, you know, what the hair has its natural oils that keep it strong. So yeah, I was very surprised that my scalp wasn't at least kind of feeling like it was suffering. So yeah, after about 4 weeks, I started spraying it with water. I would attempt to do it every day, but it didn't always happen. But yeah, most days I would spray it with water. And then I made some like a mixture. This is Epsom salts, and I put maybe like, filled this up to, you see, filled this up to probably about here, and put about 2 teaspoons of Epsom salts in, and some essential oils. What oils did I use? Lavender, which is a constant in all of the things that I make, because, you know, lavender is yummy. Lavender oil, peppermint oil, rosemary oil, tea tree oil, maybe some clary sage. Yeah, something like that. I always make the mistake of not writing down what I put in these things. And I put probably about 5 drops of each just in the bottle with the salt, and left them for a few hours so that they could kind of dissolve into the salt, kind of like shaking it a little bit every so often. And then filled that up with water. Ideally use like distilled water or filtered water. My water filter is broken, so I boil water and I leave it to cool down. So I used water that had not fully cooled down as well, because that helped the salt to dissolve quicker. So this is what I use mostly. The salt helps the hair to lock easier. And just what made me kind of start moisturizing it every day was just looking into it more and learning that repeated moisture just helps the shrinkage when you're not combing it out and stuff. Just helps the hair to kind of clump together more, and also keeps the hair moisturized. So that is the one that I use most. I also just made some, I think these are all just repurposed bottles, so don't pay attention to the labels. This is, I think that's just rose water. Yeah, that's just rose water. Maybe there's a little bit of tea tree in there. This is rosemary and black seed infusion. So I infused the black seed and the rosemary as if I was making a cup of tea. I think I did about 2 teaspoons of each in a jar about this big, filled it with boiling water. I just left it to infuse probably longer than I need to. If you're doing it with boiling water, all you need to do is let it cool down. You can do a cold infusion and leave it for a few days, but I did it with boiling water because I'm impatient, and left it to cool down. And what I did is I left it a bit too long because I was busy and I didn't have time to finish doing it. But if you leave it too long, it goes quite gloopy, so it went quite thick. I think I didn't get round to straining it for maybe like 2 days. Ideally don't do that, because yeah, it goes quite gloopy. But I still used it still smelled fine. So yeah, after a couple of days, I mean, the jar had a lid on as well, so if you are going to leave it, make sure it's just covered and airtight. Finally strained it, and then came up to about here. Nope, that's the wrong one. Came up to about here with the herbal infusion, and then filled the rest with rose water. I just went away with some friends to Anglesey, and we were talking about the wasp problem. I didn't even know there was a wasp problem, like a wasp shortage. But over there was loads of wasps the first couple of days we were there, and they were all coming for my hair. I was like, and I'd been spraying this in it for the past couple of days. And I said to my friend, I was like, maybe they were just like swarming around my head. It was horrific. It was awful. Even after going in the sea and like, you know, swimming and floating, and rinsing my hair for like 2 days, it was still kind of coming around me. So just be aware, like if you're in a place that's got loads of wasps or bugs and stuff, they're probably gonna like the smell of your hair. It smells great. But you know, my hair's looking super, super great at the moment. I mean, my hair is just naturally healthy, but I do think this has helped to improve the feeling of it. My curls are coming out a bit more. And what I love about my hair texture is that I feel the locks. It looks like the locks are holding on to the shape of my curls, which I wanted. I didn't really want to have like straight locks. So yeah, rosemary, black seed, rose oil. I think this one is just plain water. Check. Yeah, that's just water. This was really great. I got this at one of the melanin markets, and it's made with like fenugreek and stuff. Naturalist hydrating hair mist with rosemary and fenugreek. But yeah, really a beautiful small business, black owned, woman owned. I could recommend this, but I've run out and it's refilled with water, and the mister is great. And then I use this very, very occasionally. Probably, I only really use this actually if I'm wearing my hair out, which is a rarity. I'd say maybe like 2 days a month, if that, I will wear my hair out. And yeah, sometimes if it's feeling kind of dry and my scalp maybe feels like it needs a bit more loving, I will spray some of this on. Olive oil nourishing spray. That's what I use. Oh, and I forgot to bring that out, but I was also using the Jamaican mango and lime locking gel, which I'm going to stop using because I kind of did a bit of separation the other night and put some in my hair, and I feel like it just made it softer than it needs to be. Maybe I'm using it a bit too liberally, but yeah, like when I've wet my hair, it's kind of, I don't know, I feel like it's not really helping it to lock. It feels like it's really nourishing it, but yeah, it's not really doing what I thought it would do in helping the locks to stay formed and be a bit less wispy. So try and just show you how we're looking so far. So you can see my locks are very irregular. The most formed lock is at the back, which I think is naturally going to happen. I don't even know what this looks like, so you know, I'm going to be seeing this for the first time because I haven't looked and seen what it looks like from the back yet. But yeah, I've got, where is it? This big old thing here, which when I did some separation the other day, I noticed that on a lot of my locks that are forming, they kind of feel like they're clumping up in the middle. And I don't know if that's because I keep my hair wrapped up. If you've seen my previous videos, that's how I usually have it wrapped. And sometimes I'll just kind of have it more in like a bandana form. Or I'll have it like in a loose bubble, like high up on my head. So it's always where it's kind of, I guess, tightened. So I've noticed that like in the middle, they're kind of clumping up. I don't know if that's normal, or if it's something to do with me having my hair tied up, or if that's just kind of where my locks are starting to form from. I always thought they would form from either end, like the root or the tip. But mine are forming from the middle, and I was like, oh God, if I mess this up, or am I going to end up with like bubble locks? But at the same time, I know that once they mature a bit more, I can palm roll, and you can use palm rolling to kind of even them out. It also might end up looking kind of interesting. So yeah, when I noticed that was happening, I was like, oh God, and the thought of, oh, should I just shave it all off and start again and try and do it a bit better? But I'm not going to do that because patience. So yeah, my locks they've been formed like this. They formed like this quite quick after a couple of weeks, and have held their shape. They're very irregular. I've got a big, thick one, a couple of big, thick ones forming at the side. And I don't know if you could see on the one at the back, it's kind of gone from one thick one to two small ones, which when I noticed that had happened, I kind of wanted to separate it. I think again, I'd like seen something on a video, someone saying that's you want to avoid that happening. So I was like, oh no, and I'm like, well, that's what my hair wants to do, and we'll just see how it happens, how it forms, how it continues to form. Yeah. So that's all I wanted to say. Products are going so far. Patience. I think that's it. If you have any questions, I'm sure there's something I've forgotten to talk about. Then let me know. I am no expert. Yeah, and I guess I'll do another video when they get to the point where I can palm roll them, because I do have a lot of, like just free hairs that are just kind of like not really locking and not really attaching to anywhere. But I'm just giving it time. Just trying to wear my hair down as much as possible, but like it's just annoying having hair in my face, especially with a toddler who likes to run her fingers through it. Yeah, that's it. Peace.